So you just finished the last post-Heavensward quest, but still want to make the most out of the game's free trial before finally buying the full game. Well, my friend, you're in luck. In this video, I will list down everything that I think is worth doing while you're still on free trial. Disclaimer though, this video is not to encourage people to not buy the game, but rather help out people who are on a tight budget but still want the most out of what's currently available on the free trial. This is coming from someone who played the game on free trial for over 10 months before finally buying the full game. One last note, I will try to summarize and not be too in-depth with everything that I will mention in this video. And with that, let's get right into it. Alright, first up on the list is something that you should be doing ASAP. The reason why I say that is because this is something that's only available for a limited time. I'm talking about seasonal events. These are either annual holidays such as Easter, Summer, Christmas, or The Rising, which is the game's anniversary event, or special collaborative events such as the ongoing Final Fantasy XV event that's available only until the 18th of October 2021. As of this recording, I also found out the Dragon Quest X collaboration will have a rerun starting on October 19th, 2021, and will be up until the 11th of November 2021. I know you're wondering, why would I want to do these seasonal events? Well, these seasonal events always have event-exclusive items such as fireworks, orchestrion rolls, hairstyles, minions, and even mounts. And while the fireworks are usually available on the market board when you eventually buy the full game down the line, the event-exclusive hairstyles, minions, and mounts cannot be sold on the market board. By the way, if you're wondering if the FF15 collaboration can be done on free trial, I just finished doing it on my free trial alt. The only prerequisite is finishing the Ultimate Weapon quest in A Realm Reborn, and have at least around 230,000 MGP to be able to buy the Regalia, Noctis' hairstyle, and the Noctis Triple Triad card. Oh, last note, always check the lodestone to keep yourself updated for future events. Since we just finished talking about the ongoing FF15 collaboration, I'm gonna squeeze this in since this is pretty relevant. Hanging out at the Gold Saucer. Aside from the gate events, the Cactpot board, and daily mini Cactpot that everyone is familiar with when it comes to farming MGP, you may want to do the weekly fashion report if you want the easy MGP. The fashion report is a weekly activity where an NPC named the Masked Rose judges what you're wearing. If you get at least 80 points, you get 60,000 MGP easy. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I find out what to wear for the week? I highly recommend following Kyoko Star on Twitter, as they always post an infographic of what gear to wear for easy 80 points every Friday or Saturday depending on where you are in the world. Also, aside from the FF15 collab, you can also spend your MGP for various Gold Saucer exclusive items such as hairstyles, dance emotes, mounts, and glamour. Alright. Next up on the list is something that everyone has been trying to attempt ever since a certain streamer's attempt for a few streams. This is Palace of the Dead. Palace of the Dead is a 200-floor deep dungeon. This is a good place to level one of your alt jobs or attempt to finish up to floor 200 solo for the Necromancer title. Next up are Beast Tribes. Beast Tribes are different races of NPCs that offer daily quests that reward you with EXP, gil, and reputation. Increasing your reputation with a particular Beast Tribe rewards you access to unique items to purchase, such as dice, minions, and mounts. Aside from doing Heavensward Beast Tribes to level up your level 50 to 59 alt jobs, the only reason you'd want to do all of the available Beast Tribes on free trial would be the mounts. Oh yeah, and getting one Beast Tribe to its highest reputation to be able to buy their mount would take you a month. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when you reach Bloodsworn and allied ranks for the Heavensward Beast Tribes, you also get access to their tribe-specific dance emotes. Next on the list is Wondrous Tales. This is content from Heavensward where you replay stuff that you've already unlocked such as dungeons, raids, and trials to fill stickers randomly in a book. Successfully getting 1, 2, or 3 lines after completion rewards you with certificates, which you can exchange for cool stuff such as, you guessed it, glamour, minions, and mounts. Oh yeah, and finishing a book per week gives you half a level of EXP for 1 combat job. Next up are relic weapons. Relic weapons are considered to be an expansion's best in slot weapon, and some of them look pretty cool too. If you're aiming to get best in slot on free trial, doing the Anima Weapon would be something you'd want to do. And if you do decide to buy the full game down the line, the Anima weapons are still, in my opinion, some of the best looking weapons in terms of glamour. The Zodiac weapons from AR are nice looking too, but are far more tedious to do compared to the Anima weapons. So I suggest just do the Anima weapons as they are far easier to complete on free trial compared to the Zodiac weapons. By the way, one Anima weapon took me a month to complete. Alright, since we just talked about the relic weapons, there's one step in the Anima weapon questline where you'll need to farm for something from one of the Alexander raids on Savage difficulty. This is where this particular game feature comes in handy. I'm talking about the Party Finder. You may already know that you can't create your own parties, but you can join someone else's party. The same can be applied to the Party Finder. The Party Finder is pretty useful when you need to farm something from a particular trial, raid, or dungeon, given that you've already unlocked said instance. Just hope that the party you're joining doesn't mind you just being level 60 if they're all level 80 running something unsynced. Next up are Grand Company Squadrons. The command missions feature is something you can make the most out of if you want to level up one of your alt jobs in dungeons but don't want to run them with other players. You can also do the squadron missions to rank up in your Grand Company to be able to buy the Grand Company exclusive glamour and other Grand Company exclusive items. Alright, next up is something people tend to overlook during free trial since you don't have access to retainers and the market board. This is leveling up a gatherer and crafter job. While some crafters are next to pointless on free trial, there are still crafters that are worth doing mainly because you can craft glamour, namely the leatherworker, weaver, armorer, and blacksmith. Now, the reason why you'd want to also level up a gatherer is since you don't have access to the market board, you're gonna have to gather some crafting materials yourself as well. And while you can craft cool stuff from level 60 master recipes, the caveat is that you're going to have to gear up your specific crafter as some level 60 recipes aren't easy to craft with the gear that's available on free trial. While we're on the subject of crafters and gatherers, there's one game feature from Heavensward that is very useful if you need to farm for yellow scripts for either crafters or gatherers. This feature is called Custom Deliveries. This is a weekly quest for crafters and or gatherers. You get 12 allowances per week, but since this is for free trial players, you'll only be able to use 6 of your allowance per week as the only NPC you have access to is Slowy. By the way, yellow scripts are used to buy crafting or gathering gear, master recipes for crafters, and various crafting materials. Okay. While we're still on the topic of crafters and gatherers, the next one on the list is a place where you can level up your crafters and gatherers. The Firmament. The Firmament is a district in Ishgard that was devastated by the Dragon Song War. While the Ishgard restoration itself is already complete throughout all the servers as of early 2021, you can still submit crafted supplies for the district as well as gathered items from the Diadem for Skybuilder scripts, the Firmament's currency, EXP, and Kupo fortune. By the way, the Diadem is an extra area that can be accessed within the Firmament. This area is where you can bring your gatherer job for crafting materials and leveling as early as level 10. Now, what is Kupo fortune, you ask? Well, to put it simply, it is a game of chance. You collect stamps for a voucher by delivering crafted Ishgard supplies for the Firmament. And once you complete 5 stamps on the voucher, you get a Scratch It card. You then pick one hexagon to scratch for a chance of getting one of the prizes from your card. Oh, and going back to what you can exchange Skybuilder scripts for, you can exchange them for a variety of things. From emotes, mounts, minions, crafting materials, dyes, and glamour. And while we're still on the topic of the firmament, let's jump straight into the next thing that you can do while you're at the firmament. The Skyrise celebration, also known as Fetes or Fetes, whichever you want to call it. But we'll stick with Fetes. Fetes are very much like Fates, but for crafters and gatherers. One Skyrise celebration is held in 12 sessions over a 24-hour period, which lasts 20 minutes each session. After the 12th session is over, there is a rest period of 1 to 2 days before the next session begins. By doing Fetes, you receive EXP for the crafter or gatherer that you are using, Skybuilder scripts, Fete tokens that can be exchanged for rewards, and Fete presents that contain a variety of items from glamour, minions, mounts, dice, and Fete tokens. Now the next thing we'll cover is something that you can either do solo or with a party depending on where you're doing this. This is Treasure Hunts. Treasure Hunt is a feature that was introduced in patch 2.1. While using your gatherer job at level 40 or above, you have a chance of discovering treasure maps. To put it simply, you use these maps to get coordinates of buried treasure at a particular area. Kinda like how pirates search for buried treasure in mainstream media. Before you do get to open the treasure chest from one map though, you'll have to fight a wave of monsters first. Once they are defeated, you have a chance to get rare crafting materials or glamour from the treasure chest. Now I mentioned earlier that in some areas you'll need to do this with a party. The reason for this is that the treasure chests for Heavensward areas have a chance of opening portals to a mini dungeon which is almost impossible to clear solo. Next up is an activity that you may need to allot some time for, as this is something that is time sensitive. I am talking about special fate bosses. These are fates that do not appear on the map, but have clues to let you know that a particular fate boss is active, such as the weather. Now the reason you'd want to do these fates are for special glamour or chocobo barding that can be bought using items that these fate bosses drop. To make your life easier, I'd suggest joining a dedicated Discord server that pings you when a specific fate is active. Servers that you can join are either Faloop or Centurio hunts. Next up is something that's not impossible but extremely difficult to achieve on free trial. That is getting the shark mount through ocean fishing. Ocean fishing is an activity you can unlock for Fisher as early as finishing the first Fisher job quest. Now, what is ocean fishing? It is a 20 to 30 minute instance where you catch fish at the sea. Each fish you catch grants you points. Earning 5,000 points by the end of the instance will reward you with the Major General, a shark minion. While earning 10,000 points will reward you with Hybodus, the shark mount. If you're up for the challenge, this is something that's worth doing when you just want to relax. And finally, last but certainly not least, is doing the Ildebrand Mandeville questline. This is a completely separate storyline from the MSQ, and is something I think deserves all the recognition it gets. To summarize, this questline is about Ildebrand Mandeville and his assistant, Nashu Makaraka, and their very outworldish and hilarious adventures. Aside from the story, you're also rewarded with glamour, minions, and even a dance emote at the end of each story arc, which makes doing this questline worth it. And that's everything I think is worth doing on free trial if you're not planning to buy the full game anytime soon. Did I miss anything that you think should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments down below. I also stream almost every day on Twitch around 8 PM onwards Philippine time. I'm more of a variety streamer, but I do stream FF14 when I have an active sub. I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.